With the way things are right now in terms of stock levels, sometimes the best option is to get as much performance as possible from your existing hardware. Now, we all know you can tweak your BIOS, you can edit your config files, or if you're feeling a little bit adventurous, you can even dabble in overclocking to get that extra bit of performance out of your hardware. But did you know there's something even easier that can help you see a significant gain in performance, especially if you're an early adopter of new hardware? Oh yeah, let's do this. The Gemini S from Cougar, with enough RGB to light up your entire house, a clear tempered glass panel on the side, and enough room inside to swing a cat in it. But we highly suggest not swinging cats around computers. All this room and all these lights without breaking the bank.
No cats were harmed in the making of this video. eTeknix and Cougar are not held liable for the damage to any cats. We love cats.
So what are we actually talking about? What's this magical trick? Well, it's actually one that's often overlooked, and that is updating your BIOS. Now, I know it may seem like a daunting and scary task, but these days, it's really quite easy. All you really need is a spare USB drive and about 5 to 10 minutes of your time, and you could get quite a sizable jump in performance. Who doesn't have time for that, right? So first things first, go to your motherboard's product page, find the support or download section, and look for the latest BIOS release. Download it, extract it to your USB, and reboot your PC into the BIOS. I know what you're thinking, but Andy, what if I mess something up and brick my BIOS and my PC no longer works? Well, as long as you are, not prone to power outages, this shouldn't really be an issue. Even if you are, a lot of manufacturers have safety measures in place, or even, in some cases, on higher end motherboards, a dual BIOS. Also, with the last few new releases of motherboards, more manufacturers than ever have now started to include a BIOS flashback button on the rear of the I/O. So this basically lets you roll back to the previous BIOS version for any reason you see fit. So the next question you may have is, am I really going to notice any performance increase just from updating my BIOS? Simply put, there is a very, very good chance, yes. Now, I'm not saying this is some magic key to unlock loads of performance for everyone, but it's definitely something worth looking into if you haven't already. On top of this, it can solve a ton of compatibility issues, bug fixes, and much, much more. Now, the whole reason we've actually made this video was because we were testing the new Intel Core i5 11400F CPU, and before we started, we updated the BIOS of our Asus Maximus 13 Hero board, which is what we've been using to test 11th gen CPUs. Now, during this testing of the 11400F, we actually saw that processor beating the 11600K in quite a few tests, especially when it came to gaming. I'm not talking about anything small here. We were seeing upwards of 30 frames per second better in some games on the 11400F. This would have made the 11600K just basically null and void and would be a completely pointless product. And so we set to completely retesting the 11600K on the new BIOS, so we could see exactly what type of performance increases we could actually get. Now, it's all well and good me telling you all of this, but where's the proof to back it up, you say? As always, we have all of our test results, so let's run them beautiful charts and see those glorious performance gains. So we did have a bit of a mixed bag of results here. In our testing, we saw a decent performance increase when it came to our 11600K, which is always nice seeing something go in the direction you expect it to when you end up putting a lot of time into something. On the flip side, our 11900K saw, well, no real increase at all. When it came to our gaming tests, we saw an average increase of 25 to 30 FPS in each title we tested on the 11600K. I mean, this is absolutely amazing, as though those extra FPS were just kind of sitting there, waiting for a BIOS update to help us unleash the power and the performance. Even in our synthetic test, we saw an uptake again compared to the previous BIOS. So what's the takeaway? While our BIOS update helped us with our 11600K, well, it didn't really do much, if anything at all, on our 11900K. So it's not, I guess, a one-size-fits-all solution that will magically give you extreme gains. But it's very unlikely that it's going to take away from what you already have. And depending on your board, if you do end up seeing, say, performance degradation, you could always just roll back your BIOS, like I mentioned earlier, to a previous version. And I guess after all that, it's like it never even happened. So yeah, there you go. Let me know, have you ever updated your BIOS? Or, I don't know, maybe you've been too scared to do it. Do you even know what the most current BIOS for your motherboard is? And do you even know what version you're on right now? If not, it's definitely worth looking into. And if you're still not 100% sure on, I guess, how to actually do it, depending on your motherboard, maybe you have a few more questions. Why not jump onto our Discord? The link is in the description below, and, well, you can ask in there. I'm in there quite a lot, so if, I guess, time permits, I'll see if I can help myself. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, you know exactly what to do. And I guess if you enjoy what we do here, consider supporting us on Patreon. Again, the link is in the description. And you'll get access to all sorts of crazy stuff, like behind the scenes content, exclusive giveaways, access to our Minecraft server, early access, who doesn't want that, and much, much more. And yeah, with that, I'll see you in the next one. See you later, guys. Bye-bye. Ciao.